All right, so hi, my name is Ayush. I've been involved with all things STEM here at Foothill for about a year now, and I'm also currently president of the Data Science and AI Club. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is John Asenso. I'm currently a student at Foothill College as of last year, and I'm here to earn a certificate in cybersecurity. Been working in cybersecurity for the past 5 years or so. Worked at VMware, Facebook, now Meta, and also with Cruise, with the self-driving vehicles that you hear about in San Francisco. And I decided to come back to school to get a certificate. And while I was here, I established the cybersecurity club, and I've done all things STEM. So glad to be here.
Mm-hmm. And would you like to talk about what your vision is for the cybersecurity club and how it may impact and help students who are interested in the field?
Yeah. Well, when I originally got here, my goal was to get the certificate in cybersecurity. There's only 6 classes you have to take. It takes about a year. And I realized or found out quickly that there was not a cybersecurity club. And the whole field of cybersecurity is so vast, and you can network quickly. And it might be a means by which people can get a foothold into the discipline of cybersecurity. So by establishing a network or a club, my goal was to have a network of people that are interested, and maybe bring on some professionals that are involved in the field and have them do an interaction. Maybe some internships could wind up out of it, apprenticeships could wind up out of it, so that a person goes into the field a little bit more informed than they normally would.
Mm-hmm. And how do you see certain emerging technologies such as AI or VR impacting cybersecurity?
Right now, AI in cybersecurity is responsible for a lot of automation. Mm-hmm. So maybe you might not need as many people doing certain tasks. They'll still need plenty of people, but certain tasks will be given over to AI or emerging technology that way. I've used it in terms of documentation, because we always constantly have to document how many people came in, who logged into a certain server, dates and times that people came in, if there's forensic things that we're looking for, where we have to follow up to see who, what, when, and where, asking those types of questions. AI is definitely helpful in terms of that. It's just another tool that helps you along the way, that makes your path more clear. So yeah, it's definitely needed. I've used it. I've used it to write essays and so on and so forth. But in cybersecurity, for sure, it's another tool in the toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And another thing I was wondering was, I'm not sure if you're familiar with quantum computing and its applications in cybersecurity, but just wondering, how much are you informed about it?
Yeah, I've dabbled a little bit in quantum computing. I know that in terms of encryption, there's a movement afoot to try to use quantum computing to break the current encryption that we have. There was a team, I believe, in Japan or Taiwan that's attempting to use quantum computing, essentially computers that are a lot faster than what we have now, mm-hmm. to break or see if they could get around or hack into the encryption. There was an article this past spring about that. However, it turned out that they were unsuccessful, which is actually a good thing, because if anyone could get your password just by turning on a quantum computer, then quantum computing is it's still relatively rare. Mm-hmm. However, there are bad actors out there who have the means by which to obtain technology, and they can definitely wreak havoc on our banking system and everything else. So I have kind of dabbled, read a few articles. I'm a member of the Hacker Dojo, and they give lightning talks on quantum computing and AI and so on and so forth. So I have dabbled a little bit.
a lot of what we have today in cybersecurity is relying on RSA encryption,
Exactly.
which is basically the way it works is it has a lot of very large prime numbers multiplied by other very large prime numbers. And so trying to get the factors of that is how we get what is encrypted. And quantum computing in particular can do a lot of those calculations simultaneously, which allows it to do it in hours as opposed to hundreds of years, which is what classical computing would do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in my view, I feel that with the way that quantum computing is progressing and how the way it feels like it's gonna progress in the same way that classical computing did, where maybe it won't be everywhere, but it'll be a lot more accessible to people. I think it's inevitable that it'll be a security risk for the current RSA encryption. So how do you see us moving forward and possibly moving away from that in some other sort of encryption or just security?
There will probably be methods developed in the future to get around this encryption hack that's coming up with quantum computing. It's like, because for every actor that's out there, there's a bad actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's going to be this a group of people or a group of or entities that are always seeking by which to undermine or overthrow or get behind the current firewalls we have, protections that we have that are enacted. So you're always going to have that. And fortunately, we also have, on the opposite side, people that are trying to make things a little bit more secure. Like, just for instance, last week, the entire system at Foothill went down. The servers went down so that they can implement more secure measures by which to access the portal and so on and so forth. So you'll always have that. But again, you'll always have maybe state-sponsored actors, certain governments that will use quantum computing to their advantage to leverage maybe our financial system and so on and so forth. So it's there. It's something that's groups like the NSA, FBI, CIA are constantly hiring people to work against for them. So it's inevitable. It's going to happen, but at the same time, you have people that are in place to offer protections, even more so going forward.
Mm-hmm. And also, how if you were to start a cybersecurity lab here at Foothill, basically just introducing members to cybersecurity and just the field in general, how would you go about doing that, and what would you implement?
I'd probably do some type of assessment with anyone that's interested to see what are they interested in. Are they interested in fintech? Are they interested in ed tech? Are they interested in maybe robotics? And then expose them to the discipline of how cybersecurity works in terms of making sure that your system cannot be accessed by a bad actor. Mm-hmm. So we might do maybe red team, blue team type of activities where you have two different teams. One is the penetrating team that tries to break the security, and one is the blue team that tries to keep the bad actors out. Mm-hmm. So we can divide teams up into that way. Maybe doing some quick lessons on that. I have some contacts that I made because I went to the RSA convention last year or this past spring, and I met some people that are willing to come to Foothill and offer some trainings in red team, blue team, penetration testing, so on and so forth. So you actually get some hands-on experience, because a lot of this is hands-on. We could talk about it in a classroom theoretically and write things on the board, but not until you actually are hands-on, that you're actually behind the screen and you're affecting, or you're actually penetrating into Bank of America or Wells Fargo Bank to try to infiltrate, get information, data, and or money. Does it actually make sense to you? So having a hands-on, if I were to establish a lab here, it would be definitely hands-on. You come in, you have some basic training, and then you have at it, try to break things. That's how you learn. So that's how I'd implement it.
And in your view, how do you see the Emerging Technologies Institute influence Foothill College and education here?
Emerging technologies, in terms of Foothill, where Foothill's going, I think is of prime importance, because Foothill, as of last year and the last time I checked, was the #1 community college in the country. We have people coming here from all over the world, and so it's within our reach to have emerging technologies, things that are cutting edge innovations, partnering like for instance this October I managed to network with some students at Stanford, and they're offering what's called the First World Conference or Symposium, and they want to do things here with Foothill students and faculty, and they've offered to sponsor some scholarships to the symposium. It's normally $1,000. They're willing to pay $900. But even if a student can't come up with $100, they have a few scholarships that will pay for the entire thing. And this is a place where we're going to meet people on the cutting edge of AI. I mean, cutting edge. And it's very important for Foothill to partner up with people like that to kind of keep our ranking where it is, because I have roots here. My father taught here for 25 years. He used to bring me here as a kid. Rather than going to watch cartoons, he'd bring me to the library. So, I mean, and then to come back here as a student. This is my second time coming back here as a student. I came back as an undergraduate and then came back as a professional worker. I've come full circle. And so definitely emerging technology is something I want to be a part of, that I'm already am a part of. And I like to see what I can do to affect that space in terms of cybersecurity.
And did you have any questions for me or anything you'd like to talk about?
I'd like to see more student participation, but again, we're just coming out of COVID. Mm-hmm. Students are still kind of tentative on actually coming to campus. Not all the classes are offered on campus. It is convenient to do things online. But there's certain things where you need to have, like some activities where you bring people together and you do actual physical networking. Mm-hmm. That's been the means by which a lot of people get jobs, internships, find out what's going on in their disciplines, is by actual physical contact. So I'd like to see more of that.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
You're more than welcome.